Hello, welcome to the Aaron's Game Room. I'm Aaron as always, and thanks for joining us today, guys. I want to teach you all how to play our newest game we have out called Rondol. Comes this neat little soft velvety purple sack here. Stop saying sack, it's a pouch. If you somehow click on this video and you have not heard of this game yet, then I'll tell you real quick. Rondol is an abstract strategy game similar to Mancala, but it is all played with some colorful little poker chips. Let's go to the table and I'll show you guys how to play. So first things comes first when it comes to board games, it's always setup. This game comes with these little two-sided cards here. The actual side you put up is not important, but you can use these to sort of build your board by placing them in a little circle like so. Once you have your little cards set out, what you're going to do is you're going to set up a few stacks of these colorful little poker chips. What you need is 3 stacks of red, blue, red, and 3 stacks of blue, red, blue. And you need one of these stacks on each card going around the table. Once you've got all of your stacks made up and placed on the cards, what you're going to do next is you're going to take the 2 remaining tokens and drop them back in the bag. Have each player decide which color they want to be, red player, blue player, and then have one of the players reach into the little bag here and fish out one of these chips. Whatever chip you draw out, that's the player that will go first. The goal of the game is to control 4 stacks in a row or to control all stacks currently on the table. You control a stack if the topmost chip is your color. For example, at the start of the game, blue controls these 2 stacks and red controls these 2 stacks. Easy enough, right? On your turn, you're going to grab one stack that you control. You can pick up any stack you control, and what you're going to do is you're going to drop all the chips one at a time going either direction around the board. Your choice of clockwise or counterclockwise. But you're going to take them all and drop them one at a time on top of every stack until you run out of chips. Then the next player will go the same thing. They'll pick one of their stacks, pick it up, and drop them one at a time going around the board. Super simple. It's definitely what I was going for, is I wanted a very easy game as far as mechanic-wise, with the thinking coming as you go. Again, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get either 4 stacks in a row, your color, or you're trying to block out your opponent. Let's show some examples of how that can happen. As you can see in the example I've set up down here, I have played a game where the blue player managed to actually get 5 in a row, but again, you only need 4, so this would also be a winning game right here, because blue controls the top chip in 4 stacks in a row. Again, as I also said, another way to win is to control all the stacks on the board. Here's an example of that right now, where you can see there are only 4 stacks currently in the game, but blue controls all 4 of those stacks. Even though they are not adjacent, red does not control any stacks, so thus red can make no moves on their turn since they don't control any stacks. So red loses, thus blue wins. Now that you guys got the basics down, we want to tell you about an optional rule. Personally, I love this optional rule and I play with it all the time, but we like to teach the game this way because it's a basic way that anyone can play, especially younger players. But if you want a little more strategy and control of your game, this is what we call the flip rule. When using the flip rule, on your turn, after picking a stack you control, you can, before dropping it out, choose to flip the stack over and then drop it out like this. This clearly changes the order in which the chips will fall down, which you can use to try and get chips a little more where you want them. It's a small rule that can actually add a pretty big significant change to the strategy. Or, you know, sometimes you just want to flip stuff. As beautifully symmetrical as the standard setup is, we actually have 2 optional setups you can use if you want a little more variety or strategy to the setup of the game. For both of these setups, what you're going to do is you're going to make the stacks as usual. 3 stacks of red, blue, red, and 3 stacks of blue, red, blue. And give those to each player. Once you've done that, each player will then take turns after deciding who goes first, placing their stack of 3 on any empty card they want. It's fully their choice how they want to set them up. There's not a lot of options for it, but it is a little more control over where you start. And our second optional setup, again, give each player 3 stacks of their red, blue, red, and blue, red, blue. Then, in this version, after deciding who goes first, a player will take one of their stacks and then drop it out like playing the normal game. They'll pick any card to start at and just drop him going around the board. The next player will do the same thing. Pick any space, start dropping. You'll keep doing this until all the chips have been played out. And once all the chips have been played, you will then start the game as normal from there. And that really is everything you should need to know about how to play Rondol. We are currently working on some extra things for this game. We have a special piece we're hoping to add to the game at some point, as well as a 3 and 4 player version that hopefully we'll have another video for you someday whenever we get that all smoothed out and finalized. But in the meantime, this is everything you should need to know to play Rondol. If you want to get your own copy of Rondol, you can head over to our website, baronsgames.com, where we should have some for sale. Checking with director, yes?
Yes.
Great. Awesome. Otherwise, you can get some of our others up there, some other merch and games and all, like this t-shirt. And if you guys end up having any questions, comment down below, message us, reach out. You can find us all over social media, Facebook, X, Instagram. We're on TikTok as well, where I did a little video over this, where I give you a little history of this game as well, after doing a brief description of the rules I just taught you. And I think that's pretty much everything. Thanks again for joining us, guys. I'm Aaron, Barons Gamer. Remember, if you need to reach out with us, find us on social media, or you can always email us at baronsgames@yahoo.com. See you next time.